Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today we need to talk about my Chicago Bulls. Yes, that's right, I am a Chicago Bulls fan. Ever since Derrick Rose back in 2011, even up to 2015, he had got me so excited into the game of basketball that honestly, there was no other team that I could have chosen at that time that I felt like was my team. And I've been through a lot as a Bulls fan. I'm sure any other Bulls fan watching this video understands. We had Jim Boylan. I don't think I need to say much more. There was Jim Boylan. And today, guys, this is going to be a little bit more of an informal video. Yes, I'm going to have introduced a little bit of stats right here, but otherwise, it's going to be me breaking down just a tiny bit of film, but mostly just giving you my thoughts on these players in these situations. And overall, my thoughts on the Chicago Bulls as a team this year in comparison to last year or the years before. But I'm going to tell you guys some stats really quick, just to make sure we're on the same foot. As of today, when I'm recording this video and it's going to be uploaded, the Bulls are the 24th ranked offense and the 7th ranked defense according to Basketball Reference. And in that same site, I was able to find out that the Bulls are 4th in 2-point attempts, but 23rd in 2-point percentage, which means we're jacking up a lot of layups and dunks, or attempts at least, and a lot of mid-rangers, because we have taken our identity almost after DeMar DeRozan after we signed him last year. And honestly, this is infuriating to watch. At the beginning of the season, I was at least like, well, Zach's out for a little bit, we might struggle, but I think once we get it all back together, things will start to click a little bit, and we'll at least be a good regular season squad, and probably be a first-round exit. And this is where I have to thank you guys as a community, though. Through making these videos and talking to you guys about teams like the Wizards or the Lakers, I've come to realize this is not okay. Being mediocre is not okay. I would much rather be bad and know that we're at least going to get the prospects of something versus being good and never actually winning anything. Or let us be legitimate championship contenders on like a Cavaliers level, and let us hope that we actually have a chance to win. Now look at Zach LaVine right here. You have Goran Dragic wide open. He's been shooting better than you. You have Drummond you could get on the cut or even just pass it back to Caruso, and you had 9 seconds, so a play definitely could have been generated. But instead, he takes the bad mid-ranger. And Zach LaVine was my favorite Bull in the last couple of years, but now it's clearly evident that this knee is bothering him to a point of where he might never be quite the same player. And while I do think his efficiencies will probably increase just a little bit, right now, he's having games like he did against the Orlando Magic, shooting only 7% from the field. 7. This isn't made up. Someone like Zach LaVine should never be shooting like that. And then we've got Nikola Vucevic, who, honestly, that's a trade I don't quite regret in the moment, because that would be revisionist history to not act as if Nikola Vucevic was this all-star, 20 points per game, great rebounding center. But now the problem is, all he's really doing for us is getting rebounds and attempting to score, but he's not being as good of a scorer as he used to be, sitting at only 16 points per game, which is somewhat understandable being the third option. But even then, if he's not going to be efficient and he's not giving us anything on the defensive end to be sure, then what exactly is he doing out here? Now we can look at this clip here. We're going to see that Vucevic is taking this back down against Sabonis one-on-one, and this is where I get confused. You have DeRozan, you have Caruso, you have Williams, and you honestly have LaVine right there in that left corner, which could have been an easy corner 3. And here you have Vucevic hitting his mid-range, which is something he's good at, but again, you could have easily just passed his ball off to Ayo, who could have made that shot. Now, DeMar DeRozan is a great basketball player, to be sure. The one issue with him is that I don't think he's meant to be a number 1 overall option on a team. He's meant to be a number 2 to, at worst, a number 3. But he's never really had that in his career, and now it's affecting our team's identity. We are now becoming a more mid-range, post-work, paint kind of team, but we're not getting the percentages, which means we're not actually knocking down these shots. So we're trying to play a game that isn't working. We are 30th in the league in 3-point attempts. 30th, and we're 16th in percentage, which shows us that we can at least try and bring up our volume just a tiny bit. I'm not saying we have to be like the Lakers in the first 3 weeks of the year, but we also should not be 30th right now. We have somewhat capable shooters, and if the 2-ball's not working, it's time to make the adjustment. But there's been only one bright side for me on this Bulls team, and it's Ayo Dosunmu. Look at this play here. He attracted Brook Lopez and Drew Holiday and Grayson Allen and got the beautiful pass out to DeMar DeRozan in that corner, as you can see his cut. And look again, his finishing ability or using that to create opportunities for others is great. He creates this corner shot right here for Vucevic where he drains it after getting Giannis to pull up onto him as he thought he was going to finish. Ayo Dosunmu is the one player right now who I honestly wouldn't think about trading if I'm the Chicago Bulls. Unless you're about to get some crazy asset back with DeMar and Zach to try and create a legitimate contender, blow it up, Chicago. Please, I beg you. There is no more of this project. Vucevic is not that guy. He's got a year left. Let him walk. It's okay. Now, the one problem is LaVine's deal is a little bit big. We just assigned him to a max for 5 years. But my thing with him is his numbers will increase. So when the time comes, take advantage and trade him now. DeMar is playing still great basketball, and there will be some contender out there who will give you a couple first-round picks and maybe some, or instead maybe 1 or 2, and you get back a good young prospects in return. But right now, what we have is just not enough. And we have some really good role players too. We have Ayo. Andre Drummond's been a really good backup for us, along with Goran Dragic and Alex Caruso. But honestly, there's not many pieces on this team right now that I'm like, this is what we need to keep. And honestly, with pieces like Caruso and Drummond, again, teams are going to give you picks and maybe some half-decent role players in return. But right now, what we have is just not enough. And honestly, it is sad to see because I thought that this experiment wasn't necessarily going to win us a championship, but maybe get us a second or a Hawks-like conference finals run where at least we got some value out of this trade. But now, as I look at Franz Wagner, and I look at the fact that right now we could have a really good pick due to us being 12th in the Eastern Conference, knowing that that pick's probably just going to go to the Magic from the Vucevic trade is tough to see. I know this is a bit more of a different video for me. It's much less formal, much less film breakdown, and much more just us having a conversation. But honestly, guys, I've been reading your comments. I read everybody's comments in my videos. It has been incredible to see the dialogues that we've been able to have, or just to see your guys' perspective. So guys, leave a like, subscribe. We've really been growing as a channel here. I hope you guys didn't dislike this kind of video. If you want more of it, let me know in the comments. And guys, as always, this was Emster Knows Hoops. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and enjoy your holiday season. Be safe. Have a good one. This was Emster Knows Hoops. Peace out.